Beowulf, a cornerstone of English literature and a thrilling saga of heroism, monsters, and a quest for eternal glory. This old English epic, written sometime between the 8th and 11th centuries, takes us to the rugged landscapes of 6th century Scandinavia. It's a story of a hero named Beowulf, who battles fearsome creatures to protect a kingdom and cement his legacy. Welcome back to the Historian's Table. In today's episode, we'll unravel the tale, explore its roots, and ponder the mysteries surrounding its origins and meaning. Grab a seat in the mead hall and discover the tale of Beowulf. To understand Beowulf, we need to step into the world where it was born. The poem was likely composed in Anglo-Saxon England, a land settled by Germanic tribes, who brought their warrior culture and oral storytelling traditions from continental Europe. These tribes, including the Angles and the Saxons, shaped Old English, the language of the poem. Beowulf is set in 6th century Scandinavia, focusing on the Danes and Geats, tribes in what are now Denmark and southern Sweden. While Beowulf himself is likely a fictional hero, the poem mentions real historical figures. For instance, King Heorot of the Geats is documented in Gregory of Tours' History of the Franks, leading a raid into Frisia around 521 AD. King Hrothgar of the Danes also appears in other Scandinavian sources, suggesting a historical basis for some characters. The poem's setting, like the grand mead hall Heorot, reflects the importance of communal spaces in Anglo-Saxon society, where lords and warriors forged bonds through feasting and storytelling. The poem also captures a cultural transition. Written by a Christian poet, it depicts a pagan world, but weaves in Christian themes. Grendel, the monster, is described as a descendant of Cain, the biblical murderer, tying the story to Christian morality. This blend of pagan and Christian elements sparks debate. Was the poem meant to preserve pagan legends or to teach Christian ideals? The poem opens with a prologue about Sild Sifing, a legendary Danish king who arrived as a foundling in a treasure-laden boat. As the poet says,
"Since erst he lay friendless, a foundling, fate repaid him, for he waxed under welkin, in wealth he throve."
Sild became a mighty ruler, bringing prosperity to the Danes. His death is marked by a grand funeral, his body sent to sea in a ship filled with treasures, a poignant symbol of his journey to the afterlife. Sild's descendants then ruled Denmark, leading to King Hrothgar, who built Heorot, a magnificent mead hall. Heorot was the heart of Danish society, a place of feasting, storytelling, and camaraderie. But its joy attracted a dark force, Grendel, a monstrous creature living in the marshes. Grendel was enraged by the hall's merriment. For 12 years, he attacked Heorot at night, killing warriors and spreading terror. The Danes were helpless, their once proud hall, now a place of fear. Across the sea in Geatland, a young warrior named Beowulf heard of Hrothgar's plight. Known for his strength, said to have the grip of 30 men, Beowulf was eager to prove himself. He gathered 14 of his best warriors and sailed to Denmark, determined to defeat Grendel and win fame. As the poet notes,
"In his far-off home, Beowulf, Hygelac's follower and the strongest of the Geats, greater and stronger than anyone anywhere in this world, heard how Grendel filled nights with horror."
Upon arriving, Beowulf was greeted by Hrothgar's watchmen, impressed by his shining armor and noble bearing. Hrothgar welcomed him, recalling his father, Ecgtheow, whom Hrothgar had once aided. Beowulf declared,
"I have heard that the monster in his recklessness uses no weapons. I shall seize this fiend with my bare hands,"
vowing to fight Grendel unarmed for a fair contest. That night, Beowulf and his men stayed in Heorot, waiting for Grendel. When the monster attacked, he killed one of Beowulf's men, but he was ready. In a brutal hand-to-hand struggle, Beowulf gripped Grendel's arm, refusing to let go. The hall shook as they fought, and Beowulf's strength prevailed. He tore Grendel's arm clean from its socket. Mortally wounded, Grendel fled to his lair to die, leaving his arm as a trophy. As the poet describes,
Hanging high from the rafters where Beowulf had hung it was the monster's arm, claw, and shoulder and all.
the Danes rejoiced, and Hrothgar showered Beowulf with treasures. The celebration was short-lived. That night, Grendel's mother, a monstrous hag, attacked Heorot to avenge her son, killing Hrothgar's advisor, Aesir. Hrothgar described her lair.
A frost-stiffened wood waits and keeps watch above a mere. The overhanging bank is a maze of tree roots mirrored in its surface. At night there, something uncanny happens. The water burns.
Beowulf, undaunted, volunteered to face her. Armed with the sword Hrunting, lent by Hrothgar's warrior Unferth, Beowulf dove into the haunted lake. After a perilous descent, he found Grendel's mother. Hrunting failed against her, barely leaving a mark. But Beowulf discovered a giant sword in the lair. With it, he struck her down and decapitated Grendel's corpse, bringing the head and the sword's hilt back to Heorot. The blade had melted, a testament to the supernatural nature of his foes. Beowulf returned to Geatland, presenting his treasures to King Heorot. Years later, after Heorot's death and historical raid, Beowulf became king. He ruled wisely for 50 years, bringing prosperity to the Geats. The poet praises him, saying,
They said that he was of all the world's kings the gentlest of men, and the most gracious, the kindest to his people.
Unfortunately, peace must always come to an end. A thief stole a cup from a dragon's hoard, awakening the beast. The dragon ravaged Geatland, and Beowulf, now old, chose to face it himself. With a small band of warriors, he approached the dragon's burrow. As the dragon attacked, all support but Wiglaf fled. Beowulf's sword broke, and the dragon bit his neck, poisoning him. Wiglaf stabbed the dragon, and Beowulf delivered the fatal blow. Dying, Beowulf asked to see the treasure, content that he had protected his people. He named Wiglaf his successor and requested a barrow be built.
For every one of us, living in this world means waiting for our end. Let him who may win glory before death.
The Geats mourned, building Beowulf's barrow as a monument to his legacy, visible to sailors as a reminder of his deeds. Beowulf is more than a tale of monster slaying. It's a meditation on heroism, mortality, and the pursuit of fame. The poem celebrates Anglo-Saxon values, bravery, loyalty, and reputation as a form of immortality. Beowulf's desire for fame drives him, but his selflessness shines through as he fights for the safety of others. Scholars debate whether Beowulf was inspired by a real figure, perhaps a warrior like Bodvar Bjarki from Norse sagas, or purely a poetic creation. The historical figures, like Heorot, ground the story in reality, but its fantastical elements fuel speculation about its origins. Was it a single poet's vision or a compilation of oral tales? The manuscript's survival, nearly lost in a 1731 fire, adds to its mystique. Beowulf's influence endures, shaping modern fantasy through Tolkien's works and inspiring films and novels. Its themes of courage and morality resonate today, reminding us that even heroes face their end, but their deeds live on. As the poet says,
Behavior that's admired is the path to power among people, everywhere.
Thanks for joining me for the tale of Beowulf. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe. Any support is greatly appreciated. Remember, you always have a seat at the historian's table. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.